Okay, on this video I'm going to show you how to do rope swing. So he's able to jump, so you notice that the rope kind of moved a little bit, and you're able to move up and down and stay on the rope and then jump and do the same thing for the second rope. And the rope kind of moves. Alright, so let me show you how to do that. So basically the rope is kind of like the ladder that I talked about. So that's what I use to create the rope move up and down and jump off. So we got rope, O rope, and we have O rope 2. So this is O rope and this is O rope 2. Now I have two rope pieces, and see they're divided, and the reason why I have two different objects for the rope is that when he jumps on the rope it kind of moves. So I didn't want to have this rope move at the same time when he got on this rope, or vice versa. So I had to make another rope object. So let's see. In the rope, I have it set to not moving, 0 speed, and the crosshairs are at the top here, at the very top there. X is at 10, Y is at 0. The reason why I have it set that way is when he jumps on it, I'm using the image angle. So if you have the crosshairs in the middle of the rope or below this, it's going to look, when it moves using the image angle, it's going to look like it's off, like it's not attached correctly. So that's why I have the crosshairs up at the very top of this rope, kind of in the middle. Because if I have it anywhere else, when it does the image angle, when it rotates and moves, the rope's not going to look like it's attached correctly. And then the modify mask, it's set just to the rope itself, that one little piece, precise. And the depth's at 5. Rope 2, same thing, not moving. Depth 5, and it's same thing, crosshairs. X origins 10, Y 0, precise. Alright, so then we get into the player object. Let's see. This information here in the crate, I've already talked about this in my past videos. It's the same information. You can watch my other videos on this information, the variables, but it's the same information. That's how he moves and jumps. Image index and image speed, he's equal 0, so that means he's not moving when he starts in the game. Okay, so now I have all these alarms here. So what this means is basically image underscore angle equals -3. So when he jumps on the rope, it's going to move, the rope's going to move left at 3 millis, like it's going to jump from being 0, image underscore angle 0, to going left at -3 in an angle. That's what's happening there. So it's going, it's once, okay, so once he jumps on the rope, okay, so once the character jumps on the rope, collides with the rope, it's going to first go to image underscore angle 3, so it's going to go right. I believe it should go, I believe whole numbers are going to go right, and then the negative numbers are going to go left. So it's going, the rope's going to rotate 3 degrees upward at an angle. That's what's happening here. You could change this number to 5, 10, or whatever, but this is a subtle rotation, which is what I want. Then I did a alarm 0 from main tab. Okay, so image underscore angle equals 3. It's going to go rotate to the right, subtle, up in the angle area, and then alarm. Then it's going to do a 5 milliseconds. Alarm 0 is going to cut in, and it's going to go to alarm 0, and it's going to then go to image underscore angle -3. So it's going to go the opposite direction. But this will happen basically when he jumps off the rope. So when he jumps on the rope, it's going to go right at an angle at -3. Then when he jumps off the rope, and make sure it's set to O rope, the first rope that he jumps onto. So it's going to go at an angle at when he jumps on the rope, it's going to go to the right at an angle of 3. Then when he jumps off the rope, it's going to do the alarm setting, alarm 0 at 5 milliseconds, and it's going to go the opposite direction with O rope. So then it's going to go swing to the left instead of the right. And then and that's when he jumps off, of course. Then it's going to do another alarm, which is alarm 1, 5 milliseconds, and it's going to drop back to being straight at image underscore angle equals 0. So when he jumps on the rope, the rope's going to angle to the right at 3. Then when he jumps off the rope, it's going to swing to -3 on the left, on the left. So it's still going to be at an angle. Then it's going to, after 5 milliseconds, it's going to go back to being straight and not moving at all at 0. So that's what's happening. And then we have alarm 2 and 3, which this applies to the second rope when he jumps onto. So then we're talking about rope 2, which is going to do the same thing. So when he jumps on it, when he jumps on the second rope, then it's going to go to the right at -3. Then when he jumps off of it, it's going to go swing to the left at 3 at an angle, and then it's going to drop back down to 0 at 5 milliseconds. And that's for the rope 2. Make sure to set that to rope 2. Yeah, so then it's going to go to alarm 3, and then it's going to go, that's the last alarm, and it's going to go to 0 and be straight again. Actually, I think I only have it going one way, so it looks like on rope 2, it swings to the right at -3, and then it goes to alarm 3, and it just drops down. So it kind of, I kind of didn't do one last step, which go the other direction. So it doesn't really matter. So it pretty much, the second rope only goes one direction. So it only goes to the right at an angle, and then it just drops down. Whereas the first rope does both. It goes from the right to the left and drops. So it doesn't, I could add another alarm if I wanted to, but that's just to get the rope to swing back and forth. Alright, and then in the step event, remember I talked about this with the ladder. Now it's going to be for the rope. So with O rope, which is the first rope that he jumps onto, make sure it's set to O rope. When he checks object, make sure it's set to relative. Gravity is going to be set to 270. Directions 270 going down. Gravity 0. The var is going to be V speed. Value is going to be 0, so he's not going to be moving. Do an L statement, and then you do another check object. This is for the second rope, 0 rope 2. X and Y 0, relative, checked. Open, block, in block, and then you're going to have a gravity. Directions 270. Gravity 0. Not checked, of course. Then you have a variable, v-speed, and then value 0, not checked, relative, in block. So this is basically saying that when you jump on the rope, you're going to stay on it, you're not going to move. Alright, and then the instep, I'm not going to talk about this. This is, I already talked about this with basically, this is for the jump and for the blocks for the step event, you know, when he goes on the steps. And it does have the v-speed in there for him to move right and left. It's more or less geared toward the steps, moving up the steps. So I'm not going to talk about that, but gravity's there, of course. That's important, which I've already talked about. And the jump, which I already talked about in my previous video. He jumps. And then the block, of course, v-speed 0, and then move to contact 270, 12. Talked about that before, so I'm not going to really go into detail with that. So now when he jumps up onto the rope, then you want to make sure you check object 0 rope, relative. So this is basically going to tell the computer that it's okay for him to climb the rope. So that's what's happening here. And when that happens, his back is going to be shown, which is sprint _ back. So that's going to be his back side is going to be shown when he's going up the rope. Make sure you set the origin to 2020. It's in the middle. Then check empty self x0, y -3, object solid, relative. All this is not changed. It's the same information from the ladder that I talked about. The only thing I changed was instead of the O ladder, I changed it to O rope. Then you have a jump position, x0, y -3, relative. Then you do an else statement. Then you do another check event. This is for the rope 2, relative, open block. Then he's going to go up, and it's going to show his backside. Speed 0, sub image is 0. It only has one image. Then the check empty, x0, y is -3, solid, relative. And then the jump position, x0, y -3, relative. And then I believe the rope was, no, the rope is not solid. Okay, so it doesn't, don't check that. Alright, so basically, like I said, if you watched my previous video on ladder, all this information here was, well, I actually made an additional, these are new, I copied, because it has 2 different ropes. But like I said, the only thing I changed here was the object, which is the second rope, and then this first rope is O rope. So like I said, all this information right here from 1 to 6 was the same in the ladder, except I had it set to O ladder, and there was only one ladder, one particular type of ladder, so I only needed 1 through 6. But since I have 2 ropes, 2 different types of ropes, because I don't want both of them to swing at the same time when he jumps on one, then I have to make another set of code right here for the second rope. And like I said, the only thing that changed was the check object. So O rope 2, and then O rope. Alright, so then we go to right, and that doesn't change. That's the same as the information from the rope. So he's just going to move to the right. It's going to show his face going to right. And then left, it's going to show his face going left with the sprint. If he drops off outside the room, then it restarts. And like I said, that's pretty much it there. So step event is needed for both pieces of rope, so that way he doesn't fall off the rope. And then you have the up event and the down event. So the down event, you check the O rope. Same thing with the other portion of the rope. For O rope 2, you check relative, and I believe all the information is the same. See down. This is different. I think the Y, the up. Going up is -3. Going down is going to be +3. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing difference on this one right here is make sure that when you go down the rope, the Y is the Y is not minus. And so check empty, make sure that the Y is not minus, and then also the jump position, the Y is not minus, relative, and check position for the other rope, it's not minus, Y is not minus. So when you go down, they're whole numbers, they're not minuses, and then when you deal with the up, they are minuses. That's the only difference between the up and down. So he's able to go up the rope and then go down the rope. He's able to change his rotation, which shows his backside going up and down. And then when he moves right, he changes his right position. And if he goes left on the rope, then he changes his left position. And if he stays on the rope, then you have a step event here which keeps him on the rope and not moving at all. So you can let go of the keyboard and you'll stay on the rope. Or if you go up on the keyboard, he goes up, showing his backside. Down on the keyboard, it shows his going down, showing his backside, and then you're able to go right and left to jump off the rope. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.